Happy Financial Aid Awareness Month. My name's Aaron Bernardis. I'm a proud alumni of the class of 2023, and I'm also a financial aid counselor here at the college. Today, I'm joined by some of my colleagues to give you important information as you start applying for aid for the academic year 24-25. We hope that by the end of this quick video, you get to know our office a little better, that you become aware of the things you need to do to complete the CSS profile, that you start paying attention to the FAFSA changes that are coming in for next year. But most importantly, we hope that by the end of this video, you feel comfortable reaching out to us for help. Without further ado, I want to pass it over to Krista Gilmore.
Hi, everyone. My name is Krista, and I am going to talk to you real quick about the CSS profile. So this form is available every year on October 1, and it is available to you now for the academic year 2024-2025. I have really good news because I think most of us know the CSS profile as quite a tedious form, a long process to complete online. And the good news is that we have intentionally shortened this application. The version you will be completing for 24-25 will contain about half of the questions that you're used to and will go much, much quicker. And this was very intentional to make it easier for our families. When you sit down to complete the CSS profile, you'll need in front of you your 2022 federal tax documents for you, the student, and the parent. On the next slide, if we progress to the next slide, you can see some examples of the 2022 tax documents. So the federal tax return is the 1040, and I'd show you these to remind you what they look like in case you didn't complete it last year, parents completed it last year, you, the student, are completing it this year. The 1040 is the federal tax return. You want to make sure you have the right year in front of you. That's pretty clear at the top of the page. It's at least 2 pages long, with page 2 being containing a signature line at the bottom. And it's kind of in best practice to just sign the tax return. You as the student or your parents sign their tax return. It could alleviate some headaches later if we have to have that form signed. The other thing on this screen, you can see an example of what a W-2 form looks like. We always ask for those. The year is clearly marked on there, and you'll use those. That's what is received from every job that you have or your parents have. They get a W-2 form to summarize the total earnings at the end of the year. That will be used to complete the CSS profile too. And if tax returns were not filed, you'll complete a non-filer statement. There's an example of that on this page as well. Also, if you just log into iDoc, once the CSS profile is completed, if you recall, we ask for these tax documents to be uploaded to iDoc. There is a form, a non-filer statement that can be completed there. It's just housed there in iDoc with a DocuSign line, so it can be signed electronically, and that might be much easier. Otherwise, this version of the form is also available on our website. Right now, I will turn it over to Carrie Giza, who will update you on the changes to the FAFSA.
Thanks, Krista. My name is Carrie Giza, and I am going to be speaking to you a little bit about the FAFSA form. As many of you know, the FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. And for the first time in over 40 years, the FAFSA is undergoing some major changes. So you know that unlike the CSS profile form that you can start completing October 1st, the FAFSA form currently is not available. It is going to be available sometime in December. We don't know the exact date yet, but we'll hopefully update you all on our website when that happens. But in the meantime, if you don't already have an FSA ID, which you need to complete the form to be able to provide signatures, I recommend that you go out to the federal government site and request an FSA ID now. If you already have it, great, you're ready to go. So what I will talk about is some changes for the FAFSA form that you're going to notice for the 24-25 academic year that are new. And we've mentioned it on this slide that you will need to now provide consent. That consent will need to be provided by both the student and the parent, and it will allow the IRS to directly exchange the data onto the form. Without providing consent, no student can receive federal financial aid. So you will need to do that. So if you're confused what that is, feel free to give us a call, ask some questions, but that will be new. And that's something you will need to pay attention to. Another change to the form that we want to mention that is different for the 24-25 academic year is while you'll be reporting the other sibling or children in college, they will not factor into the federal analysis for the 24-25 academic year. The profile, however, will still consider that. So, you know, there might be some changes to the federal information, but the CSS profile will still consider that. There is some good news with the changes to the FAFSA. The FAFSA is going to be simpler, which means that for families and students, this will mean less questions that you need to complete. So we're excited about that, and we're hoping that that makes a big difference. Our due date for the FAFSA, because of the delay in it being available, is January 15th of 2024. This should allow enough time for students and parents to complete the forms and get it to us in a timely manner. Those are some of the basic changes. And so I hope I've provided some helpful information. And now I'd like to pass it along to my colleague, Nicole Cunningham.
Great. Thanks so much, Carrie and Krista and Aaron, for all that you've shared today. As Carrie shared, my name is Nicole Cunningham, and I want to just take this last few minutes just to emphasize the fact that, you know, our role in financial aid is to be able to be of assistance to you as students and your families to help guide you through the process while you're here at Holy Cross. And so to provide some additional context to that, wanted to share with you where we're located. We're located in the Hogan Campus Center in room 314. Our office hours are Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 4:30. And this allows students to have the opportunity to engage with us in person, or if you as parents are watching this and want the opportunity to come in and have a conversation, you know what and when and where we're located. With that said, there's also ways for us or for you to be able to reach out. Always feel free to reach out to us by email. Or call our office at any time, and we will respond to your requests and inquiries in a timely fashion. Likewise, there's a lot of information about financial aid, application process, aid that's available to students, information about FAFSA simplification, and so forth on our website. So we definitely encourage you to look there as well for some additional information. If you're looking to speak with a specific person within our office, also know that you can go to our website, and we have assigned caseloads here at the college. So what that means is based on the first letter of your last name or the first couple letters of your last name, you will be assigned to someone on our team who will be able to address the questions that you have. As both Krista and Carrie shared, there's a lot of good things happening with both the CSS profile and the FAFSA for this upcoming academic year. And we don't want for you to be overwhelmed or concerned in any way, shape, or form by those changes. So starting next week and the week after that, we will be hosting 2 help sessions in person in our office. So on Tuesday, October 24th and on Tuesday, October 31st, members of our office will be available to speak with you whether it's student or parent, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. specifically, and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. to help go through general questions that you may have about the application process for next year. For students who want to get a head start on filling out the CSS profile application for next year, this is a great opportunity to not only come to talk with your counselor, but to be able to get some assistance and guidance. While both the FAFSA and the CSS profile applications will be modified and the processes with which to complete them will be easier, we understand that it is still a worrisome and still can be overwhelming for students and their families. So we want to make sure that you understand that we are available to help guide you through that process. With that said, just a last reminder, the priority filing deadline for returning students for financial aid will be January 15th of 2024. That is a change from our prior deadlines of November 1st due to the changes and the delay with the FAFSA application. And so with that said, I want to take this last opportunity to thank you for joining in and listening to this quick webinar that we've provided for you. Again, if you have questions, please use any of the mechanisms that we have available to be able to reach out to us. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for participating.